Hello everybody, it's Anne from Anne's Stampin' Up. Welcome to another card making day here in Simcoe, Ontario, where I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. If you live in Canada and you don't have your own demonstrator, you can shop with me. You can reach me at stampsandtea@gmail.com, or my demonstrator website is stampsandtea.stampinup.net. So now that it's June, we have a pre-order period for demonstrators, because we have a lot of new online only products, and that's what we're going to use today. We're going to use online only products. Golden Greenery is a Christmas set with stamps, dies, DSP, some gems, some ribbon, everything you need to make your cards. There's also a new stamp set out, sayings called Greetings of the Season. Both remarkable value for your money, and that's what we're going to use today. So let me turn the camera down and we'll get started on today's card. So one of the stamp sets we're going to use today is Greetings of the Season. Lots of nice sentiments, some very plain words at the top, and then you've got some scripted words, so you've got a good variety in there. That stamp set, by the way, is only $34. It's an amazing value for $34. The other product we're going to use is it's called Golden Greenery. It has stamps and dies, lots of nice dies, stamps and dies, and a lot of these dies will cut out portions of the DSP, so that's always a good thing, because then you don't have to stamp everything, but you have lots of nice choices for the dies. One of them being this die here, which is going to cut out bows from the DSP, and it'll work and fit really nicely, and that's what we're going to do today. What I've done today, I've already done it. That bundle is, I think, $74 for the stamps and dies, but then you've got beautiful DSP for about, let me think, $13 or so, and you also have a matching vellum that goes with the DSP. I'm going to put the vellum down out of the way. I'm going to quickly show you the DSP, because it's absolutely beautiful paper, and it lives up to its name, green and gold. And what we have are, you have just plain papers on the back, but on the front you've got beautiful gold foiled patterns. A lovely selection. There's another one, and that's just plain green on the back. You've got this green plaid with beautiful bells and bows on the front. You've got plain green again, like a plainish green, green pattern there, and you've got this lovely diamond pattern on the front. That's one of the ones we're going to use today, and this is the other one, the stripes. And on the other side of the stripes you've got bows, you've got some polka dots and some pattern there. You've just got a great, absolutely great selection in this suite. It's got everything. It's got mistletoe, it's got bows, it's got bells, it's just got everything. So that's what we are going to use today. Now if you look at this piece here, let me just take it out again. This piece, you can see that I've sort of cut out pieces of it, you know. I cut out some bows from different spots, and in here I have some different bows that I cut out. I think I should have here, these I cut out these bows, and they all have dies that fit them and cut them out really nicely, and that's what we're going to use today. So for supplies for the card, we've got some old olive. Now I love old olive. It's a deep green, but it's got a lovely softness to it as well. So we're going to use that. We've got some very vanilla for the inside, very vanilla for a sentiment, and then we have these two beautiful papers. This is the very vanilla with the gold diamonds, and this is it's really just a stripe going across the DSP. The other sides are equally pretty. There's beautiful leaves, and this is the one with the bows on. So we're going to put those two pieces together on the front of the card, and we might as well do it right now. I've got some liquid adhesive here. We can do this and then put this to one side for a minute. These two are just going to butt up against each other on the front of the card, and I'm using liquid adhesive because I might need to just you know, slide it around just a little bit. Am I in the camera? Yes. So as usual, we're going to have about 1/8 of an inch going around the card. So I'm just going to set that down, slide it into position, try and get it even all the way around. Might need just a little squish here and there. And then we've got this other piece, the green stripe. Same thing, just a little bit of liquid adhesive around the outside edge. You don't need to get too close to the edge because it just might squirt out the edge, you know, out the side, and then it kind of makes a mess. Bring this back. We're going to put this right up against this, slide it into place, and done. So there's sort of the front of the card done. Now the card was 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. This piece was about 1 inch wide. This piece was about 3 3/4. No, 2 3/4. Let's get the ruler out. Have a look. Oops. 3 inches. So we've got 1 inch and 3 inches. It really doesn't matter as long as you've just got a nice piece down the side and then this piece, and they both match up, and you have a nice border around the outside. So then what do we want to do next? Well, I'll show you these bows that I have cut, and bells that I've already cut out of the DSP. I've got 3 nice bows, and they're just going to go in the corner of the card here. We're going to make like a swath, you know. What I'm going to do, I want these all to stay together, so I'm going to put a little glue, a little bit of glue behind them, just so that they all stay together, and then I can set it down on the card nicely like that. But they'll hold together, and then I can put a dimensional under the outside edge. So I'm just going to slide these two off, and it's just going to be a little dot of glue there, and then a dot on here. And I'm working quite quickly because I want to get them put together, but then I want to lie them down and move them around so that they're filling my space, you see, right like that. Whoops. Let me lie them down, see, so that they're filling my whole corner space, just like that. I think that's nice. I might just spin that one a little bit, turn that one a little bit that way, and I'm just going to hold them till they get a grip on each other. Yep, I think they have. And then I'm going to put a dimensional or two on the back so that they stand up. They've got a little bit of height. Got a nice new sheet of dimensionals here, and I'm going to overlap the dimensionals so that they're holding, you know, more than one leaf together, just so that they can, you know, it's a little extra strength. One there, one there. Make sure you can't see them. Might have one here, and if I needed to, I could put some mini dimensionals on the ends of these bows. I'm not going to. I'm going to try and just stick with big ones. One there. All right, now let's just turn this over. Yep, I think I will put a mini dimensional right on the end of here. The mini dimensionals are the same depth as the other dimensionals, but they're just smaller there, as the name suggests. And let me just get these peeled off. There and there. That one's gone. Oops, one more. Right, looks good. I'm just going to put that right back in the corner where it was, just like that. Okay, get rid of that. Now I've got a couple of bells that I cut out of another sheet of paper. Had a die for that as well. Dies work great. And I'm just going to put these together like this, put them on top, and then I'm going to put a bow on. I'm just going to glue these down flat to the bows, I think. I'll put a little glue at the top, maybe just a squirt down the middle. Just hold it for a second till it gets a grip. Same with the small size, just a little bit of glue down the middle. I'm just going to overlap a little bit there. I'll just hold that for a second. Put this out of the way. Now we've got to do a little bit of stamping here. We need to stamp a sentiment for the front, and we also need to stamp a sentiment for the inside. We've got a piece of Very Vanilla for the inside, 5 1/4 by 4, and then we have this scrap for the sentiment on the front. We're going to heat emboss the sentiments, so let me put those out of the way. Bring in my heat embossing supplies, and we're just going to quickly heat emboss a couple of sentiments, and then we'll put those in the card. Now the sentiments came from the other stamp set, not the Golden Greenery, but the Greetings of the Season stamp set. We're going to use this one, May your holiday season be filled with warmth and cheerful celebration, and the other one says Season's Greetings. We're going to heat emboss both of those with gold embossing powder. So I need to bring in my little odds and ends here for heat embossing. I've got a Versamark pad, of course. I've got some gold embossing powder. I have a little board that I pin my pieces to use the heat gun, and I've got my embossing buddy, which is just, I think, corn flour, you know, but you rub it over your cardstock and it takes all the static off, and it means you can get rid of the extra powder so that it doesn't spoil your heat embossing. You know, if you had lots of flecks all over the place, it wouldn't be so good, because they would also melt when you heat the sentiments. So let me just move that down. This one is the sentiment for the front. It says Season's Greetings. I'm just dabbing it in to the Versamark, make sure it's good and stamped, good and inked, and I'm just going to put it down away from the corner because I'm going to cut it out with a punch, I think. There. And then I'm going to take the Versamark pad, and because this is a bigger stamp, I'm going to dab the Versamark onto the stamp itself, and I'm going to put that right in the middle of the piece for the inside of the card, making sure I've got it the right way up. Down it goes. Right, so we'll put those out of the way. We'll take the gold embossing powder, there, going to sprinkle it over the sentiment. We've got this piece of paper as a background, and it's got a fold in it so that I can then tip the excess embossing powder back into my little tub here. Oops, a little bit there, I think. There. Got a sentiment here somewhere. Okay, just put that down. Move these out of the way. I'm going to tip everything right back into the tub. Put the lid on the tub, put it out of the way, and then bring in the heat gun. Now the heat gun's going to be kind of loud for a minute or two. Pin these onto my little board, just using clothes pegs, but it just means I don't have to hold these pieces while the heat's on them. And they only take a second, and you know you've melted the embossing powder when they go shiny. Going. See how shiny they are now? Just drop that, pop that over there. Off, put all my heat embossing tools together out of the way, and that, and then we can finish putting the card together. So this piece that says, "May your season be filled with warmth." Now I have got a little dot, scissors, I have got a little dot right there that I missed. I'm not going to touch it, I'm going to leave it alone. I'm just going to pop this to the inside of the card. I'll use some Stampin' Seal, and I'm going to put a little bit of extra Stampin' Seal around, because often when you heat emboss, your cardstock bends, it warps a little bit, so I want to make sure I've got enough around the outsides to hold this flat and keep it in place on the inside. There, I'll just give it one more flick because I must have dust on my table here. So there's your inside done. This is the sentiment for the outside. What am I going to do with it? Have a look. I'm going to cut it off, trim it right down as close as I can to the letters. Ooh, that was close. There. And I'm going to trim it really close here as well, and I think I'm just going to mount it onto a piece of old olive. There we go. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to round the corners a little bit. maybe just round 2 corners. Yeah, that's a little bit different, just rounded 2 corners. And now I'm gonna take a piece. Have I got a scrap of old olive anywhere? I thought I had. And I'm gonna measure this, and this is 1 1/8 across, so I'm going to cut a piece that is 1 and, gosh, let's see, 1 3/8. 1, 2, we'll try it at 1 3/8, and this way it's 1 1/4, so I'll go 1 1/2 this way. Doesn't look like enough. I mean, re-measure that. Yeah, that's 1 3/4, so I need to go 2 this way. Let's lie this down on here and have a look. Now that to me looks like it's got an awful lot of green around it, so I'm going to bring in my cutter again and I'm going to take off about 1/8 of an inch on each side, or maybe just the width of my channel here. Let me see. There, that was a little bit. Take a little bit this way and then we'll try it again. You can always take a little more. I still think that looks like a lot. I just want a little border around, so we're going to do that again. There. This way, and I'm just lining this up with the second edge on my cutter, and honestly it just takes a sliver off. This has got to work. That's more what I wanted, just a little border all the way around. Alright, so I'm going to round the same 2 corners, opposite corners. There. Get that out of the way, this out of the way. We'll put this down with some Stampin' Seal Plus. Go. Put this on the front of the card here. I think we might pop that up on dimensionals. Did I do that right? Yes, I've got rounded corners and rounded corners. I'm just going to put it down here in the corner of the card. We'll pop it up on a few dimensionals. Right down about there, there, and then to finish the top here, we've got the inside in. To finish the top, I've got some really fine vanilla ribbon with a little bit of gold thread on the end, and I also have here some gems that match the set, so I'm just going to make a little bow here, my 2 rabbit ears there. Let's start again. Rabbit ear, rabbit ear, wrap one around the other and pull them tight. Now then I'm going to start pulling my thread, my loose end, because I don't want it nearly as big as that, but I want it to look nice on the top of the card. Does that look good? Still think it's a bit big. There, we'll put that there. We might just put one. Let me just trim that off. There. We're going to use a glue dot to put this down, I think, hoping that the red gem will still be able to sit on top of the card. I just put that there. There. Let's have a look at these gems. Some of them are groups of 3. You've got a beautiful red gem and you've got a beautiful like a pearly opaque gem, but these are a group of 3. I'm thinking that might just be a little bit too big. Oh no, I don't think so. Let's see, hopefully it all comes up together, and it did. I'm going to press that down really hard. So there it is. That's today's card. Fairly quick and simple. Just used little pieces that I cut out from different pieces of designer series paper, added a bow and a few gems, and you got a beautiful card. It's my own design. If you want to copy and share it, please do so. And if you sell your stamps, please put the Stampin' Up angel stamp on, which just says all the supplies used are Stampin' Up supplies. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you next week. Bye.